Now hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Once again you've joined me at the wonderful Wetlands Lakes carp fishery, and once again we are not after carp, we are once again after the Zander. Now there's no lure fishing allowed on this fishery. I explained it last time we came here, but what we can do is bait fish, and what I've done is I've come to a different area of the lake this time. I'm actually right over on the opposite bank, as I know that this is probably one of the hot spots on the lake, or at least that's what I got told anyway. And I'm fishing slightly different to how I did last time. Now last time I was here I had one ledger rig, which was obviously free running lead, and I fished one float rod. Now today, because obviously last time I did so well on the bottom baits, I'm just going to be doing the same again today. A ledger rod out, but the other ledger rod that I'm using, I'm actually going to be fishing a ground bait feeder, and I'm going to be fishing to the tip. It's basically one of my barbel rods, just to see if that can maybe pick up some more bites and maybe give me a better hookup rate. We'll find out. Now the ground bait mix I've got, it's a meaty ground bait, and I've added some fish oils to that. So I've added lamprey oil, because I know that they do like eating lamprey, and I've also added some chunks and chopped up prawns as well, just to make it a really fishy ground bait smell, and we'll see if that aids in getting any extra bites. What I'll also do is I might ball up a bit of it and throw it over one of my lines where I'm going to be fishing the straight lead, and fingers crossed we'll increase our hook rates today and maybe put a few on the bank. Last time I was here I managed to catch my personal best. It was like £7 something, £7.5. If we can get that today, or even get close to that today, that would be great. Fingers crossed we'll get a few on the bank. Another run, and I missed it. He's got himself a beast. Got to be a fish on. Yep, fish on. Fish on. Yep, definitely a fish on that time. Finally. Yes, we finally hooked one. Little schoolie. Yes. Finally caught one. And on the tip as well with the feeder. Look at that. Feeder full of ground baits. Bit of chopped fish and chopped prawn. Tiny little schoolie. A lively one though, and very nice looking one. May not be the biggest one in the world, and he's definitely smaller than Darren's Zander, which actually would have been a personal best for me, and it was his first fish of this session. But it's a start. Let's get him back. I can hear Darren saying something. I don't know if he might have got another fish. Yep, that's definitely on. Hey, another fish. Tiny baby one again. Beautiful hook placement. On the feeder again, and this one really is a tiny one. Smaller than all the ones I caught last time as well, but very welcome and so fat. That one's the one that's been taking on my bait, Jesus Christ. Now, probably just over halfway through the session now. We've had lots and lots and lots of bites. Between me and Darren, we've probably had about 15 to 18 takes, most of them resulting in the bait being taken. Some of them just resulting in dropped runs where they just start taking the line and let go. We're not really sure when we should be hitting them right now. We think a lot of them are schoolies, so as you've seen, the smaller Zander that I'm catching. But what is quite interesting is the ones I've had on the alarm with very, very little resistance has resulted in almost every run being dropped, or I've just not been able to hit them. And the 2 fish I have landed, I've been on the tip, and they're actually, I think they're hooking themselves. They're pulling the tip round of the barbel rod, and they're managing to catch it into the corner of the mouth, which is quite interesting. Darren's fishing circle hooks, and he's landed the biggest one so far. He would do, wouldn't he? 8-pounder, so bigger than my personal best, which I caught last time I was here. Fingers crossed we can wade through a few more of these schoolies and maybe catch another one of those big ones. I really wanted to double this session, one of us anyway. Both rigs are pretty much identical. We have a wired trace, 24-pound, with a single size 2 carp hook, up to a swivel and a buffer bead. And then we have a free running ring on there with a clip attached. Now on one rod, which is the one which just went off, that has got a 1.5 ounce lead on, which is exactly the same as what I did last time. But the difference with this rod is that instead of 1.5 ounce lead, I'm actually attaching a large cage feeder, just like so, free running up the line. You still get the nice free running effect, but instead of using an alarm or watching the rod tip, it's a barbel rod. That's running. Yeah, that's definitely running. Yep, fish on. Fish on. That's a better fish. That's a much better fish. And I go under snags, acting like a carp. Oh, a bit better anyway. That'll be a 6-pounder. Yes, there we go, bagging up now.
Put them on that side.
Finally managed to catch a decent sized one. It's not quite a personal best, but probably about 6.5 pound. We roughly weighed it, but we didn't quite zero it. About 6.5 pound, lovely, lovely Zander, and actually put up a decent scrap, especially on the light gear. Right, we'll get this one a quick release and see if we can catch any more. Awesome bit of sport though.
Get him in.
Sort of a similar size to the ones we've got in the net.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice one. Oh, I've got one. Fish on. Double up. Mine's only a baby one. Darren's literally just landed one, just weighed it, 8-pounder. And I heard the rod bleeping. I've had to make a runner to get back to my rods. It's not bad actually. Doubling up on the Zander. How about that? This one's putting up a right fight. So he's not a very big fish. Oh, yes. There we are, we just had a mad bit of action. Darren had a run, then while we was netting it, my rod went screaming off, another fish. And just as we put these in the retainer, ready to get a picture, Darren's rod went off again. 3 Zander all in the space of about half an hour, and all of them averaging around £6, aren't they? Maybe that one's about £7, that bigger one you caught. Fantastic bit of sport.
Excellent.
Oh, that's a good take. Fish on, fish on. There we go. Another nice one. That is Zander number 6. Well, I can't quite believe how good the Zander fishing has been this session. I think this is fish number 6 for me. Absolute madness. We've been here maybe about 4 or 5 hours. Maybe a little bit longer. So it works out roughly about more than a fish an hour. Awesome stuff. You get these shoals that just move in, and when they come in it's like bite, 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 and you've got to make sure you grab them. But they've got big, beautiful fins, and actually they're quite hard fighting, these ones, especially on the 1.25 pound test rod anyway. Awesome fishing. Let's get him back. Well guys, it's not often that you see me filming an ending on the GoPro, but that is because I've ran out of SD card space on the big camera because it's been that good of a session today. I think I've had about 7 or 8 Zander in total myself. A few schoolies, ended it on a couple of schoolies literally about 10 minutes ago. Had another couple of runs, just a couple of smaller fish. Biggest one I've had is maybe been about £6.5. Darren's weighed a couple of his, and his biggest was £8, which would have been a personal best for me. So I'm a bit gutted I didn't manage to catch a new personal best today, but what a session for the Zander it has been today. Caught loads of fish, had loads of bite, put plenty of fish to the bank, and had loads and loads of fun. I've even ran out of bait now as well, so absolutely fantastic timing for the camera to run out of space too. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. If you want to, feel free to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.